Center's Heliophysics Science Division. Gina, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me, Tahira. Happy to be here.
I mean, it's a big day for heliophysics, which is the study of the sun. So Gina, I'm dying to know, how are you feeling right now?
I'm thrilled. We've been planning this day for such a long time, and I can't believe it's finally here. It's so exciting.
And I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better day, folks. It's blue skies. We've got the sun beaming. It's incredible.
It's great.
And so today's celestial event will be visible for millions in the Western Hemisphere, with 48 contiguous U.S. states and parts of Alaska witnessing at least a partial eclipse. Now, some cities, like Kerrville, Texas, are in what's called the path of annularity for today's events. So, Gina, can you break down what that means and what somebody in this path can expect?
Sure, Tahira. So when a solar eclipse happens, the sun, the moon, and the earth are all in line. Now, for an annular eclipse, the moon will be just a little bit further away from the earth than during a total solar eclipse. And that means when the moon crosses in front of the sun, we're left with this ring of fire that we see in the sky.
That is going to be incredible to witness in person. And folks, the eclipse has already begun sweeping across the United States. First starting in Oregon at 9:13 a.m. Pacific and ending in Texas at 12:03 Central. From there, it will continue its path through Central and South America. Now, keep an eye on the telescope feed in the box on your screen. We're going to be sharing live views from across the eclipse path throughout today's show. Now, Gina, is there a way to know what kind of viewing experience I can have in my city?
Sure. So our viewers can go to go.nasa.gov/Eclipse Explorer, and that will take you to that interactive map that we have, and you can see when and what your viewing experience will be.
That is amazing. Thank you so much, Gina.
Absolutely.
And folks, if you go ahead and look in that feed in your screen, this is a live view of Kerrville, Texas, and you can see the moon is already starting to inch across the sun right now. So again, this is a good time to mention where this eclipse goes today. We go during today's broadcast. So if you're not in the path of annularity and still want to see that ring of fire effect, don't worry. Our friends from Time and Date are bringing us live telescope views from across the path of the annular eclipse, starting first in the United States and then following the action as it sweeps across Central and South America. We have a lot of exciting things planned for you throughout the show. You're going to see what it's like inside a hot air balloon at the world's largest balloon festival. We'll then check in with astronauts aboard the International Space Station. You'll hear from a very special guest about eclipse safety, and then learn all the ways you can participate in next year's total solar eclipse. This is going to be the last time a total solar eclipse passes across the mainland U.S. for 2 decades. Now, you can interact with our experts in today's show by sending in questions using the hashtag AskNASA on social media, or by dropping them directly into the comment stream wherever you're watching. Now, today we are here for an annular solar eclipse. But did you know there is actually a difference between an annular and total solar eclipse? Now, imagine the sun is having a spotlight show in the sky. In a total solar eclipse, the moon moves right in front of the sun and covers it up like a big curtain, making everything dark for a little bit. It's similar to what you would see at dusk or dawn. Now, because the moon is completely blocking the light from the sun, we're able to see the sun's corona during a total solar eclipse. Now, in an annular solar eclipse like today, the moon is going to be a bit too far away to completely cover the sun. So like Gina said, when you look up at the sky, you're going to see the sun with a glowing ring around the moon. Because of this, it is often called a ring of fire effect. And as you can see on your screen right now, it is going to be a really, really cool and unusual sight. Now, a word of caution, though. Because the sun is never completely covered during an annular eclipse, it is important to always wear your eclipse safety glasses anytime you look at the sun. Now, both types of eclipses are amazing shows, just with different perspectives. So today we're going to be bringing you views of the annular eclipse, and you're going to have an opportunity to view a total solar eclipse on April 8th, 2024. Now, Gina, anything you would add to that?
Of course, Tahira. So the science with the annular eclipse and the total solar eclipse, we can do great science, and NASA has a bunch of experiments, which you'll hear about later today.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Gina. And folks, it's time to meet your other hosts. We have James Traley at our Eclipse desk. He's going to be keeping us keyed into the action, connecting with telescope operators across the country to show us live views as annularity sweeps the nation. And we also have Joy Ung and Michael Kirk at our Albuquerque desk. They're going to be joined with special guests throughout the show to talk about how important eclipses are to all the science we do at NASA and how you can play a part in the activities leading up to 2024's total solar eclipse. Now we're going to head out to Joy and Michael later, but first, James, how are things looking on your end?
Hey, Tahir, so excited to be joining you live from Kerrville, Texas. I've got my Eclipse glasses ready to view today's big event, the Annularity, right here in just a few moments. We should be getting our first view from the West Coast in just a few moments. Up in Eugene, Oregon, they'll have the first awesome view from the United States. And you can track all of today's events using this interactive tool we've developed called our Eclipse Explorer. If you want to play around with this, go to go.nasa.gov/Eclipse Explorer. This is a fantastic tool that allows you to preview exactly what the eclipse is going to look like in your neck of the woods. You can see this path that it's going to be taking all the way down to us in Kerrville, Texas, starting out in the Pacific Northwest. But even if you're outside of that area of influence, say, for example, you're watching today's broadcast live from Milwaukee, you'll get a great view of a partial eclipse. And these little icons that you see here, these little googly eyes, if you will, they're actually clickable. So if I go to Eugene, they're supposed to have peak annularity beginning at around 9:17 a.m. Pacific. If I click on this little googly eye, it'll snap right to that time, and you can preview exactly where it's going to be. So you still have plenty of time to start getting up to speed with exactly what this annular eclipse or partial eclipse is going to look like in your neck of the woods. So I certainly encourage you to play around with this tool. And if we go to our real-time view of it now, you can see that a partial eclipse is already impacting a very large portion of the United States, stretching all the way out to as far as Nashville. And so very excited for our moment in this partially eclipsed sun here in Kerrville, Texas. We're expecting that to begin at around 11:50 a.m. local. I'm going to continue to track the movement of this annular eclipse across the U.S. But for now, back to you, Tahira.
Thank you so much, James. So excited to see that first instant of the Ring of Fire effect soon. Now, Gina and I are joined with Leslie Garrison.
Hi, Leslie.
Who is going to show us how to make a pinhole viewer to observe today's events if you do not have your Eclipse glasses.
Yes.
So, Leslie, I see you've got a few different pre-built pinhole viewers with you right now. Can you first just walk us through how this even works?
Yes, absolutely. So, to safely view the sun today, we brought a couple of items. We have a colander, a pinhole, a peg hole, a sheet of cardstock, and a hole punch. And so we're going to use them to simply create what we call a pinhole projector. And so in order to use these or to make these, you need a few items from home, but number one, make sure to never look at the sun directly, but number two, make sure when you are making and creating and using these that the sun is to your back so that the sun's light can cast light through the holes.
And you just, what, put it up and have it
Coming
put a
through.
shadow on the ground?
Absolutely, and so on the
you.
paper model, we are going to put a hole here, and the light is going to go directly through it. Peg hole, the colander, and the NASA 3D printed model already has a hole. All you have to do is wait for the eclipse to happen and see the view of the sun on a surface area.
That's great. So, Leslie, can you go over those materials just one more time?
Absolutely. So at home, you probably already have a colander. This is just a pegboard toy from my son's toy box, and a sheet of cardstock and a hole punch. But NASA has a cool event online. You can see our URL somewhere on our screen, and you can go online and make these items at home to use.
So really you just need something with a hole.
You need
that
something
can
with a hole.
Yeah.
The sun's light can shine through, so on the surface area, and you can see the eclipse on that surface area.
Simple,
Great.
effective.
Yeah.
Leslie, thank you so much
Thank
for your
you
help
for having
today.
me.
Leslie.
And folks, this is a good time to remind everybody that it is dangerous to look directly at the sun without specialized eye protection for solar viewing during today's events. Now, we have a very special guest that you might recognize popping in to share some important tips to make sure that you stay safe during an annular eclipse.
Hi, Eclipse enthusiasts. Lance Bass here, and I want to tell you how to protect those eyes and stay safe during a solar eclipse. During these celestial events, the sun, earth, and moon are in sync, creating solar eclipses. During an annular eclipse, it's not the moment for a sun staring contest. Grab those eclipse glasses and shade your eyes from the Ring of Fire. What you'll witness is a true cosmic marvel. The moon will move between the sun and the earth, but the moon is a bit too far away from Earth to completely cover the sun. So, when you look up at the sky during this annular eclipse, you'll see the sun creating a glowing ring around the moon. Because the sun is never completely blocked, it is never safe to look directly at an annular eclipse without special eye protection for solar viewing. This I promise you. You should wear eclipse glasses so that you don't say bye to your vision. Seriously. And eclipse glasses are not the same as regular sunglasses. No, they're not. Safe solar viewers are thousands of times darker and will have a specific certification that you should look for right here. Don't be a space cowboy and try to look directly at the sun. If you don't have eclipse glasses, you can use an indirect viewing method, like a pinhole projector. You can make one of these with something as simple as an index card with a hole, or a colander, or even your hands. With the sun at your back, you can safely project an image of the sun through the hole onto a nearby surface like the ground. It's gonna be me who is wearing my eclipse glasses, and so are you.
Now, don't forget to be in sync with these safety tips, folks. Seriously, listen to Lance and protect those eyes. We really want everybody to enjoy today's events. Now, let's check in with Joy and Michael in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Joy, Michael, how is the energy over there?
Hi, Tara and Gina. The energy in Albuquerque is buzzing. We are so excited for the annular eclipse to pass through New Mexico in just under an hour. I'm joined with one of NASA's eclipse experts, Dr. Michael Kirk. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's an absolute honor and a privilege. I'm so excited to be here today.
So we're currently on the grounds of the Anderson Abruzzo International Balloon Museum in Albuquerque, and behind us, the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta is also happening. And in fact, a balloon is also about to get inflated right behind us, which is really, really exciting. So Michael, have you seen an annular eclipse before?
I have seen an annular eclipse in New Mexico back in 2012, but this is a special event here today. With the Balloon Fiesta going on, there are literally thousands of people behind us, all getting ready for this event. This is one of the most special eclipses I've ever been to.
This will be my first annular eclipse. I'm really excited, and the skies are looking really clear, so I have my fingers crossed that it stays that way. So we have these incredible balloons over the past week, but did you know that NASA also does science experiments and develops technology using balloons? They're slightly different from hot air balloons. So to learn more, I chatted with Chris Yoder from NASA's Scientific Balloon Program. Hi Chris, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So you're part of NASA's balloon program. What is the difference between a NASA scientific